The United States government must correct an injustice and remove a wantonly discriminatory policy from the United States Immigration Code. Today, thousands of committed same-sex couples are needlessly suffering because of unequal treatment under our immigration laws, and this is an outrage. The Constitution guarantees that no class of people will be singled out for differential and invidious treatment, and LGBT Americans should not and must not be excluded from that guarantee. But as our immigration law currently stands, gay and lesbian Americans do not have the same right as other Americans to sponsor their partners for immigration purposes. These binational couples face a gratuitous cruelty. They must choose between their partner and their country. Anyone other than an LGBT couple, if an American falls in love with a citizen of a foreign country and chooses to marry that person, they can sponsor that person for immigration to the United States on an expedited basis. Because one of the bases of our immigration policy is family reunification. And that is just and it is right. But if a gay or lesbian person falls in love with a foreign citizen, he or she cannot sponsor that person for immigration to the United States because they're not permitted to marry under the laws of most states, and certainly under the federal government won't recognize even those states which permit it. So they're not permitted to marry, and therefore they cannot sponsor their partner for immigration. And given the laws of the United States, that person, the foreign person, may not be able to be here except for brief periods. And given the laws of the foreign country, the American partner may not be permitted to be there except perhaps for brief periods, so the couple is kept apart. This is cruel. It's humanly cruel. It's a gratuitous cruelty by American law against a couple for no reason whatsoever. They should not, as I said, be forced to choose between their partner and their country if they even have such a choice. And it's not only the partners in committed relationships who suffer, their children, their extended families, their communities and employers are all hurt when families are broken up. So therefore, I'm proud to say that we are introducing the Uniting American Families Act today with nearly 100 co-sponsors. And our friend in the Senate, Pat Leahy, and all this bill says, to make a long story short, is that a gay or lesbian partner can sponsor his or her partner for immigration to the United States on the same basis as anyone else. The same limitations, the same penalties for fraud, the same basis as anyone else. And so we are reintroducing that bill today. And our friend in the Senate, Pat Leahy, is also reintroducing UAFA in the Senate today. The fact that this bill and its larger cause have become part of the mainstream dialogue about immigration reform and LGBT rights is key testimony to just how much our coalition has accomplished. This coalition, which is well represented on this triangle, has done tremendous work in educating legislators and citizens on this issue. Americans now recognize more and more that gays and lesbians are their neighbors, their cousins and co-workers, and that same-sex couples are no different from any other couples. But we will not stop until we have passed this legislation. We must ensure that our policies work to strengthen and support committed couples and families, that our laws stabilize and do not undermine families.